are we complaining about what's happening in Canada with the smoke that's out of their control? But y'all don't complain when it's in your own backyard, though.
Canada, please stop. Please stop. While you are on fire, while you are really needing support, you're still going out of your way to help people that are literally throwing it in your face, ridiculing you, mocking you. You are literally trying to help other people while you're in peril. Guys, this really, really goes to show you how pure and how incredible the Canadian spirit is. Look at this. While they are suffering, while they are burning, while they are losing lives, they're still helping the USA. Over 33,400 people have been evacuated, and these pure souls are still helping the people that are being absolutely soulless about what they're going through, complaining about their sun, complaining about the air quality, and yet Canada is still helping you. And now, according to my research, the USA is still mobilizing people to help Canada, which means that it's still a thought. Like, they're still mobilizing it. They're still in the process of it. Now, apparently, they did send one air tank to Alberta, but I can't find anything to actually corroborate that for a fact. I'm seeing articles saying no, I'm seeing some saying yeah. But regardless, Canada, they don't want your help. And yet, you are still so decent, so pure of heart, because we know we don't help people to make ourselves feel good. We help them because it's the right thing to do. And that's exactly what Canada is doing. After all the tyranny, after all the bullying, Canada is still helping them while they're in peril. Like, does that not tell you anything about the kind of people that the Canadians are? I honestly really, really want to move to Canada. Like, they are just the most beautiful people ever. Like, what? It's my dream to visit Canada, and it's a fairy tale to move there. It's so expensive, but one day it will happen. How could anyone show disrespect to these people? I don't get it. After everything they've put them through, they're still helping. Even with the orange man saying they don't want it, Canada is still helping because it's the right thing to do. I, for one, think that they shouldn't, but they better than me. I need some Canadian spirit in my heart. Like, honestly, it's actually really inspiring. Like, I completely think that Canada shouldn't do it, but the fact that they're like, nah, that's a life. Even if they don't want it, these are lives at stake. Like, you're incredible, Canada. You're incredible.
Hello folks, welcome back to my channel, and if it's the first time seeing me, please consider subscribing to my channel, like my videos and share my video to whoever you think it might be of help. So folks, without wasting much time, we're going to talk about the viral video of the wildfire in Canada. So, Canada is on fire. We all know that. And now, Donald Trump is turning up the heat as wildfire smoke drifts across the border and blankets of parts of the United States. A natural disaster has suddenly become a political and economic shutdown. I mean, Trump has criticized Canada's wildfire management and raised the possibility of additional tariffs. But here's the twist. The fires may be in Canada. The smoke may be in America. But the fallout could hit both countries. Yeah, folks, I won't talk much for today. Let's have a closer look, then we'll meet after the video so that we can talk about what's really happening and if it is necessary for Trump to impose tariffs on these issues.
Trump has just announced another new round of tariffs on our closest friend, neighbor, and Washington State's most important trading partner, Canada. 50% tariffs. And you know what's absolutely insane about this? Trump is doing this because of wildfire smoke from Canada into the northeastern United States. Maybe someone should tell him there's wildfire smoke from Oregon blowing into Canada right now as well. Canadian firefighters come down to Washington to help us fight our wildfires all the time. It's not America first to pit Canadians against Americans. It's America on its own. It's America alone. It's counterproductive and just plain stupid. This needs to end, and Congress has the power to do it. Republicans need to finally stand up to Trump for their constituents and block his idiotic tariffs, which, again, by the way, are attacks on you.
The craziest thing with the Canadian wildfires, I'm in Michigan. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of like smoky around. So everything has like a smog around. But the weirdest thing is that it just smells like a campfire. Just everywhere just smells like you had a campfire all night. It's really strange. You can look up in the sky and it's cloudy, but it's just smoke. The sun is, you can actually look at the sun right now. It's like red. It's the strangest thing. That's the sun right there. The air quality is so bad today that they're telling us to stay inside because even a few minutes is dangerous for your health. So I guess I'll go back inside.
Canadians are throwing an absolute bitch fit towards Americans who are sick of their air pollution this week. And they're claiming that they are the ones that help us when we have wildfire outbreaks. They neglected to tell you that there's actually a reciprocal mutual agreement between the United States and Canada that is monitored by the National Interagency Fire Center. And on that cute little site, you will learn that not only did the United States send over firefighter personnel from New England area to fight their current wildfires, but that for the last 3 years, they have sent upwards of 2,000 different personnel members to help them throughout their wildfire seasons. Yeah, it's funny how they neglect to let us know that while they're patting themselves on the back for assisting us in Minnesota. Here's the deal, Canada. Your left-leaning policies is why you have the issues that you have, just like Minnesota, just like California. People like me will call it the fuck out each and every day. And you guys have been awfully vocal about how great you think your country is. You come on a lot of our content. You call out our economy, our immigration, our healthcare. And it's been a bad fucking year for you guys. We've exposed you in your immigration, in your healthcare specifically, and now in the way that you handle environmental issues. Be pissed off at Americans all you want, but it is people like me that is trying to get people like you to understand that your liberal leftist policies is what is destroying your country, as it is destroying many of our states in America. But stop the cap, because we give you as much help as you give us.
So 4 Republican senators have written a letter directly to Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, to complain that Canada and the Canadian people are not doing enough to stop wildfire smoke crossing the US-Canada border. And they're complaining that that we're just not doing enough and we're allowing this smoke to cross the border. I mean, they should obviously, be stopped by passport control, right? However, the letter is very strongly written. And in fact, I'm going to tell you about one piece of the letter which is so insulting and so arrogant, it's going to make your blood boil. They wrote this in the letter. Sovereignty comes with responsibility. Let me say that again. Your Canadian sovereignty, I'm paraphrasing, comes with responsibility. as if in some way they've granted us our sovereignty. Folks, let me know what you think about this in the comments. The low level of intelligence by some Americans is unbelievable.
I'm here in northwestern Ontario where it is literally on fire. You might not be able to tell from this video, but the air is thick, everywhere smells like a campfire, and ash is literally falling from the sky. As of this morning, the Ministry of Natural Resources has said that there's 148 active wildfires burning in the region. So far, 6 communities, 5 of which are First Nations, have had to be evacuated. 7 more are on evacuation watch, and even here in Thunder Bay, we've been advised to prepare a 72-hour go bag just in case. It's upsetting, but perhaps not surprising, that Indigenous communities are being hit the hardest by this. Across the country, 80% of majority First Nations communities are in fire-prone regions. So not only are we dealing with a disproportionate number of evacuations, but many of our communities also have poor ventilation, insufficient resources in order to protect our lands, our resources, our livelihoods. How did we get to this moment? One thing has to be noted, that Ontario has been underfunding wildfire emergency services for the better part of a decade now. In the 2025 budget, Ontario only allocated $135 million to its emergency forest firefighting fund. Representatives from the Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs say that this money is basically just enough to keep the lights on. Last year, the province ended up spending over double that amount, $271 million on fighting forest fires, and still we have not seen the 2026 budget go up. And at the same time that we are seeing reserves being underfunded, emergency services underfunded, we also have this legacy of colonialism that has inhibited Indigenous peoples' traditional fire management processes. Laws like the Brush Fire Acts that have been around since the early 1900s effectively banned prescribed burnings and ceremonies that included burnings, and they did this as a way to assimilate Indigenous people and legislatively sever them from their traditional ways. In all, government has done very little to help revitalize these practices that they targeted, even as Western research has now proven what we already knew, which was that our practices were very effective at managing out-of-control fire conditions. There are a lot of reasons why we are in this moment, but it doesn't look like we're getting any reprieve anytime soon. As NWO Burns, Doug Ford is promoting a project to build a 3,300-kilometer pipeline through the region. Mark Carney has explicitly said that he is committed to Canada's emissions increasing in the immediate term. We know that climate change exacerbates the conditions that lead to out-of-control forest fires. Politicians know this too. Nonetheless, their message to us seems to be, burn, baby, burn.
First and foremost, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to everybody in Southern California right now. I do not care what your political affiliation is. My heart goes out to you, right? I don't care if you hate my conservative guts and you have been in my comment section popping off on me. I love you and I wish nothing but the best for you. I wish for your safety at this very moment. I am going to say this, however. Our politicians have failed us. And I say our because I'm a California native myself. I have lived in the Bay Area for 17, almost 18 years of my life. And I moved out the Bay as recent as a year and a half ago. And if you live in Cali, you obviously know that we are surrounded by blue. We are a democratic hub, in essence, a woke, progressive dystopia. And our politicians, the likes of the ones that you see in this image right here, are to blame for what we are now seeing as probably one of the worst disasters. And they're going to try to say this is a natural disaster because they try to scapegoat and essentially project their way out of every situation. They're going to try to put it on something external as opposed to taking the blame for the fact that they didn't do what was necessary in order to avoid a situation like this. Now, how can I be so sure that they could have avoided this? Well, it's simple. Because these sorts of fires are avoidable, at least at the scale that this one is turning out, right? You are able to do certain things such as cleaning up the debris within these, natural habitats and things of that nature, right? Making sure that you have at least individuals who are ready and prepared to take out the brush fires, which means employment. So that means putting money into the actual ecosystem as opposed to pocketing the money, as opposed to buying yourself multi-million-dollar mansions, as opposed to taking $24 billion of taxpayer dollars that you allege to be putting into the homeless crisis, and the problem gets worse. These sorts of things that you could do as preventative measure. You could also make sure that you don't disincentivize the insurance companies by making it painful for them to even exist and do business in your state, and so they end up leaving. And so many of these individuals are going to go uninsured because of their politicians. These are the faces of this right here. I want to make that very, very clear. These are the faces of that right there. And I fear that this is only going to get worse, but please, I urge you, and this is to everybody who lives in the state of California, please reconsider who it is that you are electing into office. I'm not trying to make this a political thing to say you must be a conservative or Republican. Why are you putting these individuals into office? Do they have your best intention at heart? And what have they done for you thus far? What have they done with your hard-earned money? Because when you need it most right here, right now, they're off somewhere, living their best life in one of their own damn mansions, while you literally suffer the worst atrocity that any person could never imagine. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please stay safe. I'm going to do the best that I can on my side, whatever that looks like. If it's financial and things of that nature, then so be it. But from this moment forward, I urge you, and this is a PSA, this is a warning to say, if you continue to bring these individuals back into office, these things are going to continue to happen.
As a Canadian, I'm sick and tired of having to pretend like I hate the United States of America. Because quite frankly, I love that country and its aura more than anybody can comprehend. If I got a serious job offer tomorrow and the ability to move there, I would take it. Not because I could make more money or because there's cheaper things, because I genuinely love the spirit of America. Yes, it's chaotic. Yes, it's uncertain, but it's a country that embodies the idea of burn the boats. A country whose core identity and ethos has delusion built into it, and where delusion is celebrated instead of talked down upon. You don't think that we can do X, Y, and Z? Screw you. Watch us. I love America. I love their delusions of grandeur. I love their pomp. I love their pageantry. I love the fact that they fly military aircrafts above a stadium with 60,000 people in it during football games. I love the fact that anybody from anywhere can move there and make something of themselves if they're delusional too. I hate that because I'm a Canadian, I have to pretend like I don't love the United States of America.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you have watched those videos. I know all of you have something to say. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'll read it one by one. If necessary, I'll respond to them. So folks, Canada's wildfire problem is enormous. We're talking about vast forests, remote terrain, unpredictable weather, and fires that can become impossible to control once conditions turn extreme. But let's be clear here. When that smoke crosses into the United States, the conversation changes. It's not about the smoke anymore. Americans aren't just watching Canada's wildfire crisis anymore. They are breathing it. The president has made it clear that he believes Canada should be doing more. His argument is simple. If Canadians' wildfire management is affecting Americans, then Canada should be held responsible for doing more to prevent and control the problem. That's where tariff enters the picture. But here's the important part. Trump's original tariffs on Canada weren't created because of wildfire. The border trade fight has already begun over issues including trade, including border security. The wildfire issue is now adding another layer on an already tense relationship. And that's what makes this so interesting. I mean, critics say tariffs are the wrong weapons. You can't tax a wildfire into submission. But also, the supporters argue that economic pressure can force government to take action when traditional diplomacy isn't working. Meanwhile, Canada is dealing with the fire themselves and the enormous challenge of protecting communities and fighting flames across some of the world's largest stretches of forest. So now, two questions are colliding. One, is Canada doing enough? And even if it isn't, are tariffs really the answer? Because there's an uncomfortable reality both countries have to face. Very, very uncomfortable. Canada can't control where the smoke goes. That's beyond human control. And America can't control where the fire starts. You get it? Which means the problem doesn't stop at the border. And neither can the solution. So here we are right now. Canada is fighting the flames. America is dealing with the smoke. Trump is demanding action. And tariffs are becoming part of the pressure campaign. But perhaps, let me say this, the biggest question isn't who should be blamed. It's whether Canada and the United States will choose confrontation or cooperation. But before the next wildfire sends another cloud of smoke across the border, because when nature crosses the border, politics follows. We all know that. And this story may be only the beginning. We have not seen everything. It's only the beginning. So, folks, what do you think about it? Should Trump pressure Canada with tariffs? Or should the two countries put politics aside for a little bit and fight the wildfire crisis together? Let me know what you think in the comment section, folks. And if you find this commentary very interesting, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share my video to whoever you feel it might be of help. Until next time, we'll meet again in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.